Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing Kamen Rider Week, new Godzilla merch, a new Rider spin-off, and some new episodes. But before all that, Buster, how's your week been?
It's actually been a better week than the last few weeks, which is surprising.
Hooray!
Not really much of the Toku side, but other than that, it's been pretty good. Caught up and finished a lot of shows this week. I finished the Weird Al show. Finally finished Owl House. It was like 3 episodes, and I refused to watch them for like 5 months for some reason. I also started getting into a Kojin House, and yeah.
Cool. I have, unfortunately, not been the best, but...
hope things get better, man.
Yeah. Not stuff I want to super get into publicly. People know the situation. Let's just say things are a little on the rough side. But, there was quite a bit of stuff this week. So you want to just jump right into some news?
Yeah.
So
first
thing up...
Jinx.
Damn it, I owe you a soda now. Kim Possible is this. But... we have the announcement of Kamen Rider Week, which is a thing that will be done by Team Rider as a joint effort with Toei to celebrate Kamen Rider's 50th anniversary that is happening this year, and it will be April 3rd through the 10th with a website designed specifically for it. There's going to be some celebrations, live streams, potential streaming premieres of movies, and special guests, all kinds of fun stuff, and I don't care about Team Rider crap, honestly. None of this excites me.
Yeah, my favorite t-shirt company.
Yeah, people used to make that joke about my favorite wrestling promotion when they started out, but honestly, it really does apply here. The only thing Team Rider has done so far that's interested me is the t-shirts they put out. There's 2 ones I really want to get, but I haven't.
I bought the O's one during the Heisei Forever premiere week. That was it's starting to dry up a bit. It's they work. They're pretty cool shirts. They work. Although they do kind of deteriorate over time, pretty quickly. So
I mean, it's hard to find t-shirts these days, but
yeah,
I really do want the Wizard one and the Beginning of Free Eras one. I just haven't gotten around to pulling the trigger on them.
I want to get some build shirts from them.
That's true. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
we already have an O's and Build plushie, so an O's and Build shirt are in order.
But the stuff they're advertising here of oh, we're gonna do another streaming service premiere for a random Kamen Rider movie, and oh, some actors are probably gonna send a video in. It's that stuff doesn't excite me, especially with the way the last.
Yeah, I mean, this actor stuff kind of does. Yeah. However, what does excite us, the countdown.
Yeah, some smart boy over on the Twitters found that on the official Kamen Rider website, there are a couple countdown timers going.
3 to be specific.
Yeah, triple, thank you. Triple countdown for 3 different projects that all run out during Rider Week, correct?
Yep. These are going to happen during April, or early April, so keep an eye out. Could this be related to the recently trademarked Shin Kamen Rider?
Please.
Yeah, and I heard, please, this is a grain of salt. I heard something of that one of these are Futate related projects. I could be wrong. That could have just been some person spitballing. If we get Futate animated, mark my words, I think we should break our, no animation rule just to cover it.
I haven't seen Double, though.
Oh, okay. Then get on that.
I mean, it's downloaded.
Okay.
It'll happen.
Yeah, it'll happen.
But yeah, this is...
Maybe once you finish Versus Road.
Potentially. I think I got a few things in front of that I want to spark. But maybe I should bump it up just so people will stop yelling at me on Twitter.
Nobody yells at you on Twitter. I think I'm the only one who yell at you for Twitter for your bad opinions on Heisei Generation's Final.
Hey, listen. I get to have my opinion, man.
We have fun here.
But no, these countdowns are exciting. It'll be cool to see what'll come out of them. But as far as actual reveals and shit, we got a MonsterArts reveal this week, everybody. MonsterArts Godzilla vs. Biollante. Godzilla was revealed. It's going to be a general release, and honestly, I'm really freaking excited about this because to get into a bit of backstory for the old Vacuuminator here, I'm 90% sure the first tokusatsu thing I ever saw was Godzilla vs. Violante.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big nostalgia for you.
I had a babysitter who was super into Godzilla, and he only ever showed me like free movies just because he only babysat me like a couple times. But the first one he showed me was Godzilla vs. Biollante, and I haven't seen it since, but I have very vivid memories of that movie. So, like, when I think of Godzilla, this is kind of the version I think of.
Yeah, like, it does look pretty definitively Godzilla. Like, this is the most Godzilla I think I've seen.
Mm-hmm. I think it's, like, just slightly updated and patched up from the Heisei one, the 80s one.
Yeah.
Because this is, like, a couple sequels on from that movie. But, like, it's a really solid Godzilla suit. And, like, it makes sense that they finally come around and do this, what with it being the anniversary for that movie soon. And they just re-released Biollante with some updated paint.
Nice. I actually have no idea what Biollante looks like, but...
Have you seen Little Pet Shop of Horrors?
I've seen clips.
Imagine the monster from that, but actually terrifying.
Okay, Little Pet Shop of Horrors is actually terrifying. I'm gonna fight you on this.
But yeah, no, this figure is super exciting. I have it on my wants list now. I'm not pre-ordering it, but it's definitely something I would love to pick up at some point.
Yeah.
So moving
back to Kamen Rider.
Yeah, moving on from that, getting into some really cool Rider news. We had a tease via some magazine scans, and then an actual official announcement of Kamen Rider 01 Others, Kamen Rider Vulcan, and Valkyrie. This is a V-Cinema that's going to have a brief run in theaters in November, and then we'll be going to DVD in sort of the traditional style where you get the standard release, and then you get a release that comes with some exclusive DX toys that are in the movie. The actors for Vulcan and Valkyrie are coming back for this, as well as Aruto's actor and some of the Space Boys.
Yeah, and it looks like, well, because in the poster we see Kamen Rider Metsubo Jinrai, who first debuts in the Others Metsubo Jinrai movie that just came out. So
no subs yet.
No subs yet. I'm not. Will we cover it? Because I think we should wait for the 01 movie, because it follows up right after the 01 movie.
That's true, but like,
yeah,
I don't know if people are taking their time subbing Rider movies these days. It's a little bit annoying.
Yeah, it's fine. You know, we still got the weekly shows
to
keep us company, so it really doesn't matter. Besides, most Rider movies aren't the best, but that's a story for another day. We also got a suit reveal for Valkyrie's new form. The fact that she's getting a new form.
What is it called again?
Justice Serverall. That's a really cool name.
That's awesome, honestly. And I do like the look of this form. It's like the helmet actually kind of looks like a Valkyrie's helmet, and she's got freaking Wolverine claws.
Yeah, it's basically a kit bash of her Lightning Hornet form and parts of Naki's outfit with the claws. But it's a really good kit bash. I know a lot of people hate V-Cinema forms for being kit bashes. I think a lot of V-Cinema forms look fantastic, even if the stories accompanying them aren't the best.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the better ones I've seen in a while. Hey, it's a new form for Yua. When was the last time she got that wasn't just a baddie suit?
Never.
Yeah. And honestly, like, we talked about this way back in that spoiler cast with Jake, but
episode 0, if you will.
Yeah, I really like Yua. I felt like what character development she got in the show was great, but I always wanted more. And it looks like, even though that poster is a little it looks like she's gonna get some good stuff to do in this movie. So I'm excited for that. And Fua is always a good time too.
Yeah. Actually, I would like to add a post note to Yua. I've realized over the year, My dislike from Yua doesn't really come from her character. I think her character's fine. It comes from her fans. I'm sorry.
You don't like the Sims?
Just really, but the Sims gave me a really bad experience with that 01 in general. Honestly, I can't really look at the like. It's not 01's fault. It's just me. It's a me thing. It's not you, baby. It's me.
Yeah. I mean, some people just can't handle simp culture, and in which case you got to go the other way. That's fine.
Yeah, not even just that, but just she was basically the core of that like 01 discussion that really just pissed me off. And yeah, speaking of people getting pissed off, even though this is completely valid, Shin Ultraman got delayed.
Yeah, and they didn't name a new date for it, which I think is what pissed people off. A lot of people were like, well, at least tell us when it's gonna come out then, but the reason it's getting delayed is COVID has fucked things up for the Japanese, so they don't know when they can get it back on a normal track. Which is a little weird, I'll admit. Like, I kind of question putting out a trailer if there was potential for it to get delayed, but maybe they didn't know there was potential at the time, is the thing.
Yeah. Or again, maybe they just want to get people, because, like, it comes out this year, they want to make sure to get the word out.
Yeah. And, like, I am super excited for this movie, but, like, this is made by basically the same team that made Shin Godzilla, and Shin Godzilla is one of my favorite movies. So I'm excited enough for this that I want to see it as soon as possible, but I'm trusting in this team enough that I'm willing to wait however long I need.
Yeah, I really need to get Shin Godzilla. Probably the week before Shin Ultraman, I'll do Shin Godzilla here, so... Yeah.
Oh, and for people who don't follow this person, just yesterday, SF Debris put up a huge analytical breakdown of Shin Godzilla on his website, because he primarily works off of his own website, and it was fantastic. Oh, yeah. Go check it out.
I've heard of that guy. Mm-hmm. I've heard of that guy. I know, to plug a friend of mine, my friend, not friend, but like a person, a mutual, Smeef is doing a Shin Godzilla analysis soon, so check out their channel. They also do the Scott Pilgrim fandom, so check it out. Click, plug.
Cool. But that is it for the news, so do we want to get into episode discussions?
Yep, we'll start with Dino Fury, Season 1, Episode 5, Winning Attitude. Let's...
Thanks for saving me from fucking up again this week.
Yeah, just like... No Dino Thunders or charges. Just we're getting Fury up in here. Or
we are
scaling,
furious.
Call it.
We are very furious. We support Fury. Not that Fury, but yes.
Hey. Which Fury? I don't know.
It would be hilarious if he made a cameo in this show somehow.
Yeah, just be like, I had to die. But I would do that. If I was writing this show, I would do that. Anyway, the episode, it follows Izzy and her cousin, not cousin Mel, cousin. I forgot her name.
I don't remember it. I literally just watched both the episodes for this week like a couple hours ago, so a lot of stuff hasn't had time to process. But let me Google it and I'll get the name.
Yeah. I was gonna Google it too, just so I can have the name on standby. I know Fury. I'm doing the worst thing ever. Going to the Ranger Wiki. Look, they have episode names. They have names. I should be fine. That's literally all I'm looking for. No like references. Don't go to the trivia page on the Ranger Wiki, fellas. It's a scary place.
Lily.
Cousin Lily. All right. Yeah. So and actually, like, let's talk about Lily for a second. How do you feel about her?
It's one of those things where it's like, were it anyone else, I probably wouldn't have liked the character, but the thing is, Lily is played by a real-life Special Olympiad, and they made her character a Special Olympiad, and the whole thing with her in this episode is kind of built around that, so I was able to dig in and get into it. I think people who are less understanding of that kind of thing might be annoyed by her, because there's a lot of people who just inherently hate one-off characters in PR, which, I would be very surprised if she's not a one-off character.
But since she's related.
But, I thought she was fine.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. It feels like Dino Fury in a lot of ways is like this is continuing the narrative I've been seeing with Dino Fury, is like finally getting with the times of sorts.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah.
And it feels a lot like Disney seasons too.
Yeah. like that like like a Disney season, but like we're actually getting with like modern like times and more being socially aware. Cause and I actually really like how they like my mom actually noticed she was watching the episode with me and she noticed, oh yeah, that's a real person. I was like, wait, what? Like I knew it was like a real person with that disability.
That's a real person. I love that phrasing.
No, okay, yeah, oh gosh,
that's not an automaton. This isn't Zenkaiger. What's going on?
Yeah, yeah. Like a real like a person who does Olympic stuff. That's what she meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like, yeah. And I was actually really surprised. Like I was surprised my mom even knew that. So shout out to her. But yeah, So speaking of that, I'm stuttering a lot today. I'm sorry.
It's cool.
I really like how I just like Lily. She's a nice character. Like honestly, one of the better PR one-off characters. Or like quote unquote one-off. I'm pretty sure she'll appear in the background of some season finales when like things get like, oh, the whole town's getting attacked. Here's a bunch of shots of one-off characters being in terror or something.
Mm-hmm. And also like she's really good within the context of a ranger learning a lesson of the week. Often in like newer seasons that doesn't come off as well, but I feel like they really made it work here with Izzy.
Yeah, I was a little hesitant on Izzy kind of like learning a lesson. I feel like she was like pushing her luck a bit, but she like the fact that she comes around and she's very apologetic about it makes it better.
And she's also initially inclined to do the thing she learns she needs to do in this episode. It's just that she gets a little frustrated and starts straying away from it, and then has a moment that brings her back to where she needs to be.
That's actually a very realistic thing, speaking as someone who kind of does that same thing. It was a very, like, down-to-earth episode. At times, like, I felt like I wasn't watching Power Rangers, but just a really solid sitcom, or drama, or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm. I also really enjoyed Jane and Jayborg this week. Like,
oh, yeah, same. I was just about to mention that. Like, the gag with the...
Like, to quote a wrestler I like, they were still doing ha-ha comedy bullshit, but it worked this week. It was like world building type shit.
Yeah, the world building thing wasn't what made me like it. Honestly, I just found it funny. I love these like over the top like let's teach the kids about monsters, and it's just the wacky. That just cracked me up. Those like I was like finally something funny. I mean, it's still like. And it's also world building, so that's a nice plus.
Yeah, because you always kind of assume there's stuff like that going on in the PRU, but they rarely show it. Like, the only other time I can think of something like that happening is, like, way back in, I think, Zeo, when they were doing the detective agency stuff with Bulk and Skull. They were doing a quiz or something, and they brought up monster evacuation protocols.
Yeah, I think that was in Mighty Morphin Season 3, but I could be wrong. Either way, like back in the early Saban, there was another thing I wanted to say. I don't know. Their gags were pretty good this week. Not like super funny, but still quite funny. Like better than like this is the best they've been all show.
I also think there's some good subtle character stuff, like the whole rival girl thing. That could have been in the entire crux of the episode, but they kept it to more of a background type thing. And
thank God.
And the thing with Warden Buzzkill was
Warden Garcia.
Yeah, well, I'm going off funny names.
Yeah,
we're using our made up names.
Yes.
But there was a whole like kind of implied thing with him of Izzy doesn't want to lose because he'll be mad about it, and then they subvert that, but also kind of confirm it where he's like, oh, I heard what you did. I'm upset you didn't win, but I'm proud of the reason you didn't win in the first place. And she has like this huge sigh of relief, and she's like, really? That's great. And it's like,
I hope we see more of that in the episode, like in upcoming Izzy focused episodes. Probably not for like this like batch of episodes. We're probably gonna see a post hiatus, but like,
and I really hope that I've been really suspecting there's gonna be some kind of thing, some kind of tension between the Warden and Javi.
Oh yeah, they already built that up with like the first for the Javi's debut. What else?
Which, by the way, he was great this episode too. There was some really solid sibling comedy with them.
Yeah, like Yeah, also the comedy, like, I feel like Jade and J-Borg were kind of the comedy highlights of the episode, oddly enough, when I usually find the Rangers to be the comedy highlights. But, yeah, I mean, I guess that shows that Jade and J-Borg are doing their job better.
Yeah. Let's talk about
although, also, on a...
Go ahead.
Like, before we get to the Rangers stuff, I just want to, like, point out that probably a lot of people are going to hate this episode for being very preachy. It's not preachy. First off, it's not preachy, and, like, just because it focuses a lot on the human elements. And I'm like, come on, guys. First off, they gotta teach the kids the good lessons, and these are actual good lessons, not like Ninja Steel butchered good lessons, like told in entertaining ways. And like, I just, you know.
Also, you're complaining about a preachy lesson of the week in Power Rangers. Have you been here before? Yeah. Are you new?
Yeah, I mean, even Disney seasons have this stuff. I know, like, we like to go, like. Yeah, even Disney seasons have this stuff. Just saying.
Like, that's the big thing with this episode, I think, is it's very much our first Monster of the Week, Problem of the Week kind of episode. Our first true version of that, now that the team building arc is out of the way. And we're even still kind of doing that a little bit with the Zords. But, like, they really stuck the landing on it, I felt. Dino Fury is, what is this, episode 5? We're 5-5 so far.
Yeah.
We're 5-0, sorry.
5 out of 22 for season 1? No, we'll see.
Let's
get to the Ranger stuff.
How'd you feel about the Monster of the Week and the new Zord combination?
Well, I've actually seen this episode of Real Soldier. And the monster was okay. I think it was a fine, I liked his gimmick, but honestly, personality-wise, he was one of the more forgettable ones this season. I like the new Zord combo. I feel like the Green Ranger mecha design is one of the better ones. However, I am pissed that Izzy doesn't get to use the Mega Fury Saber with it. That is really dumb.
I literally had not thought of that, but yeah, I agree. That is kind of dumb.
Like I feel like that literally let share the saber, Zato. It's a cool sword. Just share it around. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Also, I thought the monster was fine. He had a few cool moments, like when he's blasting at the dumpster, but not a super interesting character. And the Zord combination, I don't know. I like the chest plate, and I like that the color of the head changes, but the arm and leg attachments just feel a little just like, all right, and we have these pieces, so they need to go somewhere.
Oh, you are not ready for when we get to 5 Warriors combo.
I know what fucking goes down in this show. I know what the play pattern is. I'm just front loading right now. I don't like those kind of aesthetics.
It's fine. I like the Real Soldier aesthetics, but to each your own.
This was a very solid episode all around, and I don't know.
I think it's a pretty good episode if, I'm talking mostly about the human stuff. Honestly, because I just find that the most interesting part of the episode, just the human conflict.
Yeah.
Also, Void Knight talks about maps. I don't know why, I just find that funny.
He's into cartography. It's okay. Everybody needs a hobby.
Yeah. I mean, he built robots. So.
That whole scene in Area 62 was real.
Oh yeah, a little more world building.
Mm-hmm. And the bad guys finally got a Sporix again.
Yeah, like how they're shaking it up. I was like, oh, are the Rangers going to keep all the Sporix? And then at the end of the season, the bad guys are going to be like, take it all. Now your fight is meaningless. So I was like, no, we're swapping. Actually, I'm very curious if we're going to get some Sporix, to be... Because, spoilers for Real Soldier, there's going to be some fancy armors coming up. So I'm wondering if we're going to, condense the Sporix into new keys to use that.
Potentially. I would also like to see an episode where maybe the villains try and do a heist on the hero's base to get the extra Sporix.
Ooh, that's actually that would be a really good episode. I feel like that would be a lot of original footage, but just seeing a villain perspective episode, I love those kinds. So
yeah. And I mean that would also be great from the Rangers' perspective, them trying to get into Area 62.
Yeah, so it's just as funny. They're both trying to raid into each other's base when they're both
That's the episode, and on each side, Solon's the only one in the Dino Fury base fending off the villains, and in the hero base it's Mucus.
Yeah.
That's
I want to write this show.
I do
Anyway.
too, and like that's the mark of a really good show. I find is that it makes you want to be involved in it on some level.
Yeah. Speaking of involvement, or actually, I don't know. I'm just looking for a funny segue.
That transition works. We've got Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, episode 4. The sound of curiosity is vroom vroom. I like this episode.
Yeah. So I actually funny story about. Yeah, I like it too. Funny story about this. So I literally hop on the call. And I realized, oh wait, I didn't watch it, so I just watched it with Vac on the call. So
yeah, after I had just finished watching it and gotten off, and I was like, "Oh, Buster's ready to go. Let's do this."
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I haven't watched it. Yeah, it's fine. We had fun.
Yeah, you're probably aware because I'll probably edit and upload this tomorrow night, folks. But we're recording a day early this week because schedules and things, and everybody at Modular has personal stuff going on that's interfering with recording and releasing right now. So stuff's going to be coming out either a bit late or at weird times for probably the whole month of April, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'm only busy this week, so yeah. Anyway, Sound of Curiosity is Vroom Vroom. That was a really good episode. I like Vroom. I already saw Vroom in like previous episodes. I feel like out of the characters before becoming Rangers, he got the most characterization.
Yeah, and they kind of explained the characterization he's been getting. Not that it needed much explanation, but like apparently his whole thing is he's just unstoppably curious. So all those times when he's asked questions from out of the background and then gotten hit for it was just like it's almost like an ADHD impulse that he has.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say he's very ADHD coded. At least to me.
Interesting that we because there was another person watching this with us. Interesting that we told them to leave. They could have talked about that a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, Boingo.
Yeah, we'll catch you on the flip side. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But no, that was super interesting, and there's some great gags and stuff. Majin.
Yeah, with the boxing. Actually, I think this is the best.
Let's go ahead.
Oh yeah, Majin also. But I don't know. Boxing and Majin. No, pick one.
Boxing, because you brought it up, and I want to be nice.
Thank you. So there's a lot of great boxing gags. With I feel like this is the best monster we've had yet. One, he's very energetic. He's like, "Hey, let's get boxing, everybody!" Just
yeah.
And then he gives everyone boxing gloves to do really cool physical comedy stuff.
A lot of cool references to classic boxing media too.
And
I think some one of the best things I saw on Twitter after this episode aired was somebody said their headcanon is now that the world he's based off of is whatever dimension the Rocky movies take place in.
Yeah, that's a good headcanon. That's a good one. Or the world of Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
That's true.
Either one could work.
Yeah, you said that opening thing where Kaito gets punched is pretty much a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out reference, right? Yeah,
to the box art. It looks like if you look at the two scenes in the box art, at least the American one, side by side, it's very Mike Tyson Punch-Out-esque, at least to me.
And then there's an Ashton Joe reference later on. And during the mecha fight, just randomly, because it's not boxing, it's wrestling, but they referenced AEW, a recent AEW match. That was really cool of them.
Yeah. Toei Toku is usually produced a month or two, at least episodes a month or two before they air. So I'm pretty sure they were able to sneak that in as to make it topical.
Definitely, that's definitely what was going on there, and it's not just some writer getting boxing and wrestling death matches confused in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, the boxing was great. I loved all the random people following them around with boxing gloves. I had to screen cap the old man going, "I'm a winner," for a reaction image in the future.
Yes, for just every time a good announcement happens, "I'm a winner." Yes.
And the bride and the freaking cosplay girl punching out in Otaku. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, that was great gags. Also, I mentioned this during our watch through. None of them were robots.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to chase Vroom. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that I don't really like robo racism, but I feel like they're trying to lead into that, and I'm like,
There's a little bit of it that they threw in here and there in the first episode, so I wouldn't.
At least it was very subtle.
Thing.
At least it was very subtle and not like in your face, David Cage. I'm sorry, that was the second time I've referenced Detroit in this call.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's an apt comparison in order to say that this is good and that is bad. But I like the monster. And then like the thing I was trying to bring up earlier. Even though we're after her focus episode, and she should probably be. Normally, Sentai would push that character to the background for a little bit until they get another focus episode. Majin gets a lot to do this week, and I was into it.
Yeah,
like I get the feeling
phrasing.
I get the feeling they're going to be using her magic for physical comedy a lot in the show going forward, and I'm pretty excited about that, as long as they stay as creative as they have been.
Yeah. I also like those little helper people that pop up. I hope they like come back like for more gags later on.
The little helper people and the freaking banana peel that just gets a little witch's hat on it too.
Yeah, that's adorable. What else? Honestly, for me, there's not much to say. Although we can't talk about the ending stinger with like
we can
Vroom.
Before we get to that, hey, Die Ranger gear this week.
Oh yeah, Die Ranger gear.
And they did the thing. They did the big thing that goes around on meme sites.
Yeah, the crotch hit.
I popped for that really hard when I saw it the first time.
Yeah, well, that was pretty good.
But then, the stinger with friggin' Vroon asking how the Sentai gears work, and C-chan is like, oh no, it's fine, they're just based on parallel worlds. We don't have Sentai worlds stuck in those things or anything. The professors would never do that. Wait, what did you say their names were? People with those names were in Ijiru's lab a while back. Dun dun dun!
And then, like, next episode's looking for, like, Kaito's, like, resolve of, like, this revelation.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I'm excited to see where that goes. And have you heard the rumors that because the Sixth Ranger is confirmed thanks to copyrights and stuff to be called Two Kaiser? A lot of people are thinking it might be Kaito's parents and they fuse together.
That would be weird, but I can vibe with it.
But we should be seeing magazine scans of that within the next couple weeks, so...
Yeah, I think the two Kaiser, at least theming-wise, will be Ninja and something else. I don't know what else it could be, because... Like, I've heard Ninja Dinosaur be thrown around, but I'm like, we already have Juran.
Yeah, we already have a dinosaur guy. We need someone else.
Yes. So Ninja...
Martial
I'm trying
arts?
to think of what else is... Yeah, I could see that. Like, Ninja Martial... Like, the two forms of traditional Japanese combat, so that could be a good theming.
Mm-hmm.
Like Geki Ranger and Hurricaneer theming. Yeah. So, honestly, there's not much to say on this episode. Just really solid. I like it a lot.
It's great seeing the whole team come together. There was some cool effects and whatnot. It's just a solid episode of Zenkaiger. And at the end of the day, that's all you really need, isn't it?
Yeah, a solid episode of Zenkaiger specifically.
Yeah, no other Toku. Give me Zenkaiger.
That's Twitter every time a new Sentai airs.
That's Ginga Herb every time a new episode of this show airs.
They would call him out.
I love Ginga Herb. He seems like a bang-up guy.
He does.
Hashtag Superior Sentai.
Hashtag Superior Sentai.
Should we get into old episodes now?
Yeah, do you want to talk about Versus Road first, or should I talk about Joe?
Let's do Versus Road first, because I'll actually want to talk about Zio or Zeto with you. Because I have seen that before. That's kind of that might be my favorite Rider movie. But Versus Road, I watched 2 more episodes this week. Just been very busy, so and had a lot going on, so I haven't been able to watch it as much as I wanted to. But I did get 2 more episodes in. We've gotten some interesting advances of relationships and whatnot. We're kind of whittled down to just the core cast now, and there were some interesting revelations in episode 8 that are apparently going to lead to episode 9 being flashbacks and us finally finding out what the hell is up with the villain. What the hell how the hell the Death Game actually came to be. Because there's kind of a subtle hint dropped in episode 8 that maybe the lead bad guy, the old man in the chair, he might have been up for the title of Garo once upon a time, and he might not have gotten it, and he might be a little butthurt about that.
Thank you for being vague, by the way, because I still need to finish Versus Road, so...
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll watch it soon so I can discuss the finale with you.
Yeah, I'll probably be able to finish it by the next episode.
Yeah.
But, yeah, solid 2 episodes this week, and that's really all I have to say.
Yeah. And for me, Satoru Tokusatsu World, they decided to drop 2 of the Heisei Showa, we'll say, Kamen Rider
Dark
movies.
Ages movies.
Dark Ages movies. I mean, to be fair, they're still doing pretty good at pachinko machines and nostalgia and stage shows, but there were no new writers. Yeah. So the no shows ages.
I've always referred to Shin, Zeto, and Jay as the Dark Ages trilogy, but I think that's just me.
Yeah. The 90s trilogy, let's say. Shin, we've talked about on this channel before. I did not like Shin. I hated it. It's my least favorite Kamen Rider thing. The effects are cool. The story is awful. I hate the story. It's literally just... When I see, I don't know, it's just... I don't want to talk about Shin again. It's just boring, man.
It's not great. It's not... I like it for what it is, but it's not great.
Yeah. There's no substance to it. Zeto, however... keep this in mind. It's 20 minutes shorter than Shin. This is one of my favorite Kamen Rider things now.
It's probably not my favorite Rider. 48 minutes in length.
Yeah. This is not going to be Heisei Final for my favorite Kamen Rider movie, but it's still my top 3 Kamen Rider movies and probably top 5 Kamen Rider shows. I find it interesting, however, how they don't really give the protagonist he has a name, but they don't say it in the movie. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They just call him Rider or Mister.
The kid's calling him Big Brother, and that's because Keita Amamiya, who directed this movie in J, and is also the creator of the Garo franchise,
we're connected.
He wanted to evoke the feeling with these 2 movies that he got from Kamen Rider as a kid, which is that Kamen Rider is kind of like your cool older brother. He's that.
Yeah, and he did that really well. Now knowing that context, I could say he passed that with flying colors. The relationship between Zeto and the boy is really endearing, and the kid is one of the better child actors I've seen in Rider. Mm-hmm. I know Amazon has a good child actor, but I haven't seen Amazon, so
he's also the original little Hiroshi. The kid's name is literally Hiroshi. It's where that meme in the Rider fandom comes from.
I've never heard of that meme because I am a Zoomer, so sorry. Anyway, but Zeto, there's really good effects. The monster, one of my favorite ones is when the monster's arm is cut off and he grows a metal one. That's a really cool effect. Yeah. Honestly, my least favorite monster design was the bat one, but that was still really well done.
Yeah. The opening door-ass rampage, man, that is amazing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great action, bike ramming, physical fights, music. The music is great. I'm really thinking about... I really want to do a video on this, so I don't want to go too in-depth, but there's some really good thematics and drama and pathos here.
Zeto and Jay low-key have 2 of the best Kamen Rider films of all time.
Yeah, I didn't really listen to the theme. I really need to listen to it again. When thematics, I didn't really mean songs. I meant themes and the story.
Oh no, I get it. I just wanted to drop that.
Oh yeah. The story has a lot of great, a lot of great moments with, especially near the end with, when the kid confronts his dad. That was wonderful. Mm-hmm. It really tugs at your heartstrings, and it's man, this is only 48 minutes, yet I care, and I can see why all the boomers in the fandom say this is the perfect gateway drug to Kamen Rider, because it's literally everything cool about the Showa and Heisei eras in just 48 minutes.
Yeah. It's kind of a perfect mix of the 2, and it's just super solid. And the length is really key in pitching it to people. You can just say to somebody, oh yeah, I like this thing called Kamen Rider. What's that like? Here, sit down for 48 minutes. Yeah,
especially now that's on YouTube for free legally. Mm-hmm. It makes it even better to recommend it to people.
Yeah. Then the honestly, problem comes in when they go, whoa, what else can I watch? Well, there's this 50-episode show I really like.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you could pitch them Decade. I don't hate Decade, but it's not the most. Unless you're really.
Go ahead.
You were saying? Like, unless you're really into the wacky stuff like me, Decade's not really the best starting series.
I mean, I'll put it this way. I love Decade the character. I kind of despise Decade the show.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that. Back to Zeto. Honestly, my only really problem with Zeto is the suit. It's a great suit, but I cannot tell it and Jay apart for the life of me. If you put a gun to my head, just pull the trigger. I cannot tell what Zeto and Jay differences are.
I'll admit they're a little too plain. They could do with a bit of distinguishing, but again, that's part of what to be that guy, to be that commenter. That's what the director was trying to do. They're meant to be like a new version of Rider 1 and Rider 2.
Yeah, I know, because the Zeto and Jay were in production around the same time, so yeah. It still felt like they should have had some distinctions, but what you gonna do?
Like, there's a part of me that really wishes these movies had taken off and gotten shows, but what are you gonna do? They're just neat artifacts of history.
Yeah, did Zeto ever, I know his suit came back, but did his actor ever come back, at least for, 5-second cameo?
Not that I know of, and
yeah,
I don't think Jay's actor ever has either, which is kind of crazy, because it's Yuta Matazuki, freaking Tyranno Ranger. That's the Sentai.
Yeah. I mean, he came back for, Kyoryuger, so, again,
Hey, John,
honestly,
John Toei, give us make one of those free projects you're teasing, the frickin' Zeto and Jay reunion movie.
Yeah, that would be great. It would, I can imagine it now, it would just be like a movie war, the first part is Zeto, the second part is Jay, and then the third part is them teaming up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, Zeto works really well on its own. I feel satisfied. And this isn't like Shin where I was like, wait, not only am I just not having a good time, but I'm very unsatisfied. I feel satisfied with Zeto.
Definitely.
I don't need it to continue. It's a great artifact of history and a great gateway drug for an entire generation of fans.
I'll be honest, I watched Zeto just from the pure strength of a recommendation that a YouTuber I had liked, before I was even really super into Toku. And then I went I want to say 5 or 6 years before I ever watched Jay.
Yeah.
But then Jay is also really good.
I need to see Jay. I've heard Jay's a bit weaker, but I still hear it's a very good movie.
Honestly, I think I'm one of the only people who would say this, but I think they're both
Yeah, I'll probably watch Jay over the weekend, over this next week, so I can continue this saga of the 90s Dark Ages. Maybe I'll rewatch Shin because I hate myself.
Sick.
Yeah. Honestly, I really hope they do more of these movie releases, at least for I know we're kind of past all the standalones. Maybe we can get Kamen Rider the first and the next up Toei Tokusatsu World. I know they're kind of a bit more.
Have they put out Birth of the 10th yet?
Birth of the 10th? No, they're only doing episode 1s in movies, so.
Well, Birth of the 10th is technically a movie.
Oh yeah, ZX. Oh. Yeah, I forgot, because I know better as Kamen Rider ZX, but
And I actually haven't seen that, so I would be...
Yeah, and I've listened to the... Dragon Road is one of the best Kamen Rider themes.
Oh, it's so
I really
want to see it. And I'm also one of those people who really loves the Heisei vs. Showa remix.
Yeah. Oh, really? There's a Heisei vs. Showa remix?
Yeah, from that movie, because he shows up in that movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I know everyone showed up in Heisei vs. Showa, even if your actor wasn't there, you were there as a suit.
Yeah, it's, I love that song. But, I think that's everything on our itinerary for this week, Mr. Buster.
Yeah.
So, would you like to tell the people who you are and where you can find you across the internet if you would like them to?
Sup, I'm Buster Corp. I do videos. Hey, remember that April Fool's video I hinted? Yeah, that's getting delayed.
Oh, no!
It's not... Yeah, I know Vac, I already teased that Vac was going to be in it. That's not going to be an April Fool's, but it's a very broad topic that I really don't need to make an April Fool's video, so
it's just going to be a video.
Yeah, it's just going to be a video, no big April Fool's storyline or whatever, I don't know. I wasn't even going to do a storyline, but yeah. But as for stuff that's actually out, I just released a video on the forgotten 2010s Marvel cartoon, Marvel Rising, and Vac had the best comment on that video. It's this sounds like my alarm.
It did. It sounded like I have 2 different alarms. I have my DS that I use as an alarm clock, and then I have an alarm. I have several different alarms on my phone that I use the same tone for all of them, and that song at different points sounded like both of those alarms. It was weird.
Okay, question: was any of those songs the Scott Pilgrim versus the World soundtrack, like for the game?
Maybe.
Because like that I used that. All the songs in that video were from the Scott Pilgrim versus the World game soundtrack. So yeah. But if you want to see that funny comment, then go ahead, check out his video. So not my video, not his. You get what I mean.
Exactly.
Have a good day.
Definitely. Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make videos on the YouTube about toys and I do media analysis, but I haven't done any of that in a while because I'm currently on hiatus. However, if you want to check out my backlog, you can do so at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. That's TheVacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter talking shit and making hits. It's at the Vacuuminator, all one word. And I'm on Instagram posting toy photography at _Vacuuminator. And this podcast is a part of Modular Media, a creator co-op that I am a part of. If you would like to check out more of that, please go ahead and search Modular Media on YouTube. Go ahead and check out our main YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell in order to enable notifications. And follow this podcast specifically on whatever your preferred podcasting platform is. And hey, if you want to keep up with news and updates about the show and when and how it's releasing, definitely do that by following us on Twitter at the Modular Media and joining our subreddit r/Modular Media. But that's going to do it for this week in Tokusatsu. We'll see you next week when we find out what happens that week in Tokusatsu.